Longhorn Nation, Sooner fans, welcome to episode 94 of the Bevo Podcast, the only podcast exclusively dedicated to covering the greatest rivalry in college football, the University of Texas and the University of Oklahoma. I'm here with my man, Kevin Miller. I am John Whitson. Kevin, this is an instant reaction episode to the college football playoff announcement. Let's cut to it. The University of Texas is in for their first ever playoff appearance. They will be matched up against the Washington Huskies, most likely, although it's not confirmed, most likely in the Sugar Bowl. Kevin, have you ever been happier in your life outside of your marriage day?
Well, when Texas won the national championship in 2005, yes, but only
You were
that
happier. You were happier than when you got married. When Vince Young beat USC. That's what you're telling me.
No, man. You know better than that. Quit trying to set me up, all right?
That was sketchy.
I get that. You being a Sooner fan, I get you trying to take that one little shot and try to set me up because I imagine this is a kind of disappointing day for you guys. But no.
I think we're going to back into New Year's 6, but this is about Texas. Y'all destroyed Oklahoma State. It wasn't even close. I don't know what the hell Mike Gundy was doing, only giving the ball to Ollie Gordon 13 times, unless he saw something in y'all's front that said there's no point to it. I don't know that it matters. Oklahoma State never had a chance. This was style points for you guys. You secured it. You took it out of the committee's hands. I give you guys a lot of credit on that win. Of course, I didn't watch it, but I just saw the scores. I was traveling. If you can't tell, I'm in Boston. Texas fan, Oklahoma State fan, all around me is watching this on their phones. I mean, y'all destroyed them. Took it out of the playoff committee's hands. That left it for the decision to be between Alabama and Florida State. I told you this. They're not leaving Bama out. And they're going to make a decision, and they've left out Florida State. And I got to tell you, that is – I don't even know how to describe it, because if I'm a Florida State fan, it's like, what the hell else do I have to do? Number two, they're so good. I think the argument could be made for Florida State. They're so good that they won with their third-string quarterback.
I completely agree with you.
I
feel horrible for them, right? First of all, I'm excited for Texas. We destroyed Oklahoma State yesterday. That game was never close. I mean, 35-14 at halftime. Quinn Ewers, 11 of 11, 167 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the first quarter, John. Sark had that opening script, and there was nothing Oklahoma State can do about it. Nothing. Ollie Gordon, as good as he is, right? If you listen to our stuff, I've been a fan of this kid for a long time. He had absolutely no chance. I mean, 13 carries for 34 yards. And this guy, I like him. He's running through the tunnel yelling F Texas on camera.
Well, who's effing Texas now? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, man. Listen, and they completely shut him down. And their Oklahoma State defense could do nothing with us offensively. We did whatever we wanted, running the ball, throwing the ball. It just didn't matter. It was a great performance. I'm really happy to have our first Big 12 title since 2009, John. Can you imagine that? 14 years without and then, to top that off with the playoffs. I told you, I wanted to win the Big 12 this year. Anything else would be a bonus. And what a great bonus this is. I was not sure, even after yesterday, right? With this committee, you just don't know. I figured Alabama would get in. I thought Alabama would get in over Texas. I didn't think they would leave Florida State out. After the way they look. And again, look, I know their offense did not look good, and it shouldn't look good with a third-string quarterback. But that was a really good performance by them. Especially that defense was good. Jared Verse, you've heard me talk about him for 2 years now. Right? Dominant up front on the defensive line.
Florida State beats LSU, beats Florida on the road. Like, they beat Clemson. They went undefeated. They won the ACC undefeated with a third-string quarterback. What else can they do? Correct. It's a stacked deck. Now, on the other side of the court, Alabama just took down Georgia. They went undefeated in an SEC schedule and took down the number one team in the country on the road. Basically on the road in Atlanta. I don't know what else Alabama can do. It points to the flawed system. This is going to be by far the most controversial college football playoff, and it's fitting that it's the last 14 playoff.
Correct. In case people are wondering, why are they expanding it? This is why. Because there are teams out there that could win in a 12-team playoff that can win a national championship, right? Oklahoma would be in the 12-team playoff in a dangerous team
Oh,
in a
absolutely.
12-team playoff,
A
right?
healthy, O-
So listen,
A healthy Oklahoma with a healthy Stutzman, a healthy Bowman, DG's
correct.
cooking. Yeah,
It's a
no, it would
dangerous
be.
team.
I listen. We're not going to be on the air. We're not going to be on the air by the time we find out if Oklahoma. I am going to say it right now, though. At 11:36 a.m. time Central, Oklahoma's getting into New Year's Six. They're not going to leave OU out of a New Year's Six. If they have a chance to put Oklahoma in a New Year's Six, they're going to do it. Oklahoma State's going to fall to the Alamo Bowl. Oklahoma will be in the Cotton Bowl against somebody.
Oh yeah, they're gonna take you guys over Oklahoma State. That's for sure.
And
That's for sure.
honestly, they
Who
should
would you
take us
want?
over. They should take us over Penn State. Penn State's terrible. Are you kidding me? The Big Ten
Yeah,
is terrible. I think Alabama beats Michigan. I think you have your hands full with Washington, but I think the
correct.
Sugar Bowl is a huge advantage. Let me see. Is it for sure the Sugar Bowl? It is the Sugar Bowl. It is for sure the Sugar Bowl.
Okay.
I got ESPN behind me.
Okay.
I mean, dude, that's a huge advantage for you guys. Are you
It is a
kidding me?
massive advantage. I honestly was hoping we would get Michigan because their style of offense fits right into what we like to play against. A heavy
Running the
run
ball.
game. Oh yeah, we shut that run game down. I don't care how physical they think they are. Texas would shut down Michigan's running game,
Well,
and then force
I got to
AJ
tell you,
McCarthy to beat us.
the Washington run game against Oregon was dominant in the fourth quarter. That made
Correct.
me jealous. That's one of the first teams I've seen all year where, as an Oklahoma fan, I said to myself, that's who I want to play like. I want to be able to throw the ball all around the field. I want to be able to make big plays. I want to be able to take the top off. But when it comes down to it, I want to be able to run the ball and put the game away. And that's what Washington did against Oregon. That Johnson kid was hurt and was a stud in the fourth quarter. He was only better in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Y'all got yourselves.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, right? But listen, we'll worry about that. I'm just glad to be in. This is the first time we've even sniffed being in the playoff. I've never even watched a playoff reaction show or the actual announcement show. I've never watched it live before. I just wait to get the announcement on my phone. You guys, I know you guys are all over it, right? You've been in this 4 times. You've been in the
Four
playoff 3
times.
times. 4
Four
times.
times. And here's the deal. Oklahoma always got the benefit of the doubt. Always. Every year. Every year we got the benefit of the doubt. And I knew Texas would too. It's Texas, dude. Like, you were not going to be left out. I know that you're sitting back there and you've been beat down for the last 14 years. Dude, you can't be beat down. You're the University of Texas. You've got a freaking network over you. Like, Oklahoma fan, I'm going to talk trash on you all the time, but I wasn't worried about you making it in. Like, you're Texas. I just can't believe Florida State's out. They had to pick somebody.
Yeah.
But I knew it wasn't going to be against Texas. It was going to come down to Alabama and Florida State. Alabama just beats Georgia. I'm seeing here on my television the reaction. Mike Norvell is shocked.
I see it on your screen, man. That is heartbreaking. And I legitimately feel for those kids. Man, they played so hard yesterday on defense.
Dude, Gerard Verse, did you see in the fourth quarter him completely demolish the tackle?
Yes.
I mean, my God, he could be the best defensive player in the country.
I told you this last year when you guys played against them. When he decided to come back, I was like, what? You're coming back? You'd be a first-round pick last year. So, yeah, he's a great player. You know, he was a transfer from Albany in the FCS.
I think I remember that last year, yeah.
Yes, and when he hit the portal, I looked at his highlights. I'm like, oh, my God, Texas has to try to get this dude. He ends up going to Florida State, and he's been outstanding for them. And like you said, when it came down to it, when Louisville had so many chances to win that game, right? And their defense just would not let them. No. Right? They were creating constant pressure on Plummer. They were sticking to those receivers. They couldn't get open. So, but I guess the committee's like, yeah, you guys aren't going to get in with that third-string quarterback or even a backup quarterback. They didn't think they were a threat to win.
I'm looking at their comparison right now. Best wins are against Louisville and LSU and Clemson versus UGA, Mississippi, and LSU. So they both have a common opponent with LSU. Their strength of schedule, though, for Florida State looks like probably what ultimately hurt them. 55th with a strength of schedule of 55. There's not a whole lot they can do about it in season, but that
Alabama's was 5, right?
Alabama's was 5, and that includes. I mean, that's what happens when you get it's like they got a benefit of a good loss. You know, Alabama. Absolutely. So all the fight about why do we schedule big games was just justified. So on Twitter 5 seconds before the announcement that was made. Texas fans, why did we schedule Alabama if they were going to leave us out? Why did Alabama? And then Alabama's like, why did we schedule Texas if that was going to cost us? No, I think they got the benefit of scheduling Texas, and Texas got the obvious benefit of beating Alabama. It's ginormous, dude. It's ginormous. I should not be this excited for a Texas, but I'm excited for the playoff. I think this playoff is going to be fantastic.
Yeah. And I'm wondering, man, what is Michigan feeling right now? It's like, God, we have to play Alabama. I think they would have loved to play Florida State.
I think they would have loved to play Washington too. I think they could have shut down Washington. But here's the deal, dude. Okay. Michigan is not a whole lot different than the team. Well, I don't know. Did they have Blake Corum last year? Was Blake Corum hurt in the playoff?
I don't think so.
Was he hurt in the playoff?
No, he might have been. He hurt his knee, didn't he?
They might be feeling cocky because they got Corum back. But they're a lot the same team that lost to TCU last year.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, Jalen.
I was hoping to get Michigan if we got in. I was hoping we'd be the 4 seed.
Jalen Milroe looked like a stud against Georgia, dude. I don't know that Michigan has anything to stop Milroe. Most dynamic player they're going to play all year.
For sure.
If I had to pick it right, instant pick, Texas versus Bama for a rematch. Is that possible?
We'll see, man. I mean, I obviously would love that.
Can you imagine?
Figure out how to cover these receivers though for
I know. And I'll tell you, here's the thing. Okay, listen, I talked about Washington before in yesterday or last week's episode, right? That they get out of the weather, they get out of the conditions, they get on turf, they look a whole lot different. And then who was the guy that came back that was been hurt? McMillan,
yeah.
I mean, they've gone from 2 dynamic back to their 3 dynamic receivers, where any 3 of those can make a play at any point in time.
Any 3. And again, Texas struggles against pass-heavy teams, right? We can stop the run, especially if you can keep us off balance. We're better against a team. Like, if you love to run the ball, and that's what you do, it's like, great. Please line up and try to out-physical us and run the football.
Well,
and it'll be a long day for you.
You didn't get your wish against Michigan, but you got your wish into the college football playoff. I'm excited for you, Kevin. I told you I'd be excited for you. The only thing that would have made this better is if you would have gotten left out, Texas, but you did not. You are in. It's going to be fantastic. There will be much more to come, obviously, from the Boomer Bevo podcast as things develop. But I am in Boston. My wife is waiting to take me out to the North End where we're going to get some Italian food. I cannot wait.
Oh, man.
I had debated going to the New England game, but then I realized they're in a 5-game losing streak and it's 40 degrees and raining and thought, that's all right. This doesn't have to be my first game. Speaking of first NFL games ever, real quick, can you give us just a quick recap of Dallas versus Seattle on Thursday? You were there live. First ever NFL game.
First of all, shout out to my wife. Shout out to my wife, Casey, right? She set this all up for my 40th birthday. Got tickets for the game. Went down to Dallas. Yeah, strangely, never been to a Cowboys game. So, they played the Seahawks, man, and it was great. It was a great experience. The stadium was awesome. The atmosphere in the stadium was great. Thursday night game. So, everybody's watching. And it was some really good football on display. It was great to see all those great players, man. I was impressed with Geno Smith, DK Metcalf. I mean, what a freak that guy is.
Since this is the Boomer Bevo podcast, I just want to make sure we get some Oklahoma in. How good is CeeDee Lamb?
Oh, man, he's incredible.
Is he good?
Go ahead.
No, does it feel weird to cheer for him as much as you are now that you're a Cowboys fan? Because that guy's fantastic.
Man? Here's a weird thing about CeeDee Lamb. I've always supported him since he was in high school, right? At Richmond Foster, he destroyed the playoffs in Texas his senior year, and Texas always recruited him. So when he got to OU, it's kind of funny. The only OU game I've been to that wasn't a Red River shootout game was his first career game. Casey and I were dating at the time against UTEP. And as we're getting ready to go to the game, I'm like, hey, listen, you guys got this freshman receiver named CeeDee Lamb. He's really good. Like, I saw him in high school. Texas was recruiting him, and he has 2 touchdowns in his debut. So I've always kind of been a silent supporter.
Dude, listen, he's the perfect receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. He's exactly who should be wearing number 88. He's dynamic. He can control a game from the wide receiver position. But Dak looked as good as I've seen Dak look. It was a really good win. I'm so excited you got to go. I chose not to go to an NFL game, and I'm comfortable with my decision because I'm going to go eat some Italian food. You, my friend.
First of all, it wasn't 40 degrees in Dallas, right?
No, dude,
it was
six.
rainy, but of course you're inside, 72 degree stadium, very comfortable in there. One more thing on that game, Micah Parsons is an absolute freak, right? Every time they needed to make a play on defense, he at least got pressure and affected the throw of Geno Smith. He's incredible, man.
Listen, Kevin, bask in the glory of the college football playoff, okay? Bask in Twitter today. Get after it on Twitter. Have an amazing day. You deserve it. I don't know if Texas does, but you deserve it. I'm happy for you. This is going to be a fun thing to watch. And for the rest of the Boomer Bevo podcast fans, we will have more episodes, obviously, leading up to it. And then we'll make sure that we let everybody know and our reactions on where Oklahoma gets. Prediction, I think they get into a New Year's 6. Kevin, real quick.
Yeah, I think so. I think you get into the Cotton Bowl.
I think we're in the Cotton Bowl as well. All right, dude. Have a great day. Everybody, thanks for listening. And Kevin, Boomer.
Okay.